All right, good afternoon. I want to welcome each and every one of you to the 11th annual Donor Scholarship Recipient Luncheon. It's always a great honor and special occasion to have the donors to be here and to be able to hear from the students who receive scholarships and hear their stories and how the scholarships have impacted their lives here on the campus of Georgia Southwestern. And then also to hear from the students and to be able to thank the donors personally, what they do and continue to do for the university in providing donations and contributions that provide scholarships to deserving students. A lot of the donors were not able to attend, and they do send their regrets. And again, appreciate the donors who are in attendance as well as those who are not in attendance. Thank you for what you do. I'd like to introduce the head table. Y'all can be seated. Starting with myself, my name is Doug Moses. I'm the chairperson of the GSW Foundation Board of Trustees. Walking up, pretty cool with the sunglasses, is Dr. Neil Weaver, the president of the university, followed by his lovely wife, Christy Weaver, First Lady. We also have Stephen Snyder, the interim executive director for the GSW Foundation. We also have Dr. Laura Boren, Vice President of Student Engagement and Success, and then also Dr. Gay Hayes, Assistant Vice President, for Enrollment Management. I also like to introduce other special guests in attendance. We have Dr. Liz Wilson, the Dean of School of Business Administration, Dr. Ann Ta, Professor of Biology, Dr. Angela Bryant, Director of Financial Aid, Dr. Lisa Easom, Associate Dean and Professor of College and Nursing and Health Sciences, Cody King, Vice President of Business and Finance, and then we also have GSW board members in attendance, Ryan Young, Lou Chase, Scott Westbrook, Ricky Arnold, and some others. And then we also have Alumni Association Board of Trustees here as well. So thank you all for being in attendance. With that being said, I'll turn things over to Stephen Snyder to do the blessings and give us directions on our meals.
Good afternoon. Before I say the invocation, I just want everyone to know tables 3 and 4 are going to go first. Our food is in the next room. It's a buffet style, so if you would just after tables 3 and 4 go, if we could kind of go towards the back of the room and then kind of make our way around. Feel free to get in line after these two tables, and we'll go from there. So if you would, bow your heads, please. Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this opportunity to come together and celebrate generosity from individuals that cherish their memories at Georgia Southwestern, and some that have family members that had cherished memories here. Lord, I pray that you bless our fellowship as students and the donors, scholarship donors, have a time to fellowship. Pray that you just bless our time together. Thank you for this beautiful day and all the blessings that you give us, Lord. And in your name we pray. Amen. Amen. Please go ahead and eat.
Good afternoon, everyone. Please continue to eat, but I would like to introduce the speaker. Today, I have the pleasure to introduce Chelsea Perry, who is a senior biology student. Chelsea has received the Charles Crist Scholarship since her freshman year here at GSW. After graduating from GSW, Chelsea planned to get a master's degree in public health with a concentration in biostatistics. Chelsea desired eventually to find a position working in an institute like the Center for Disease Control as an administrator. The scholarship that she received here at GSW has helped her in finishing her education and reaching her career goal. Today, Chelsea will speak to you about her time here at GSW and the impact it has made on her education and future. Please welcome Chelsea.
Thank you, Dr. Tu, for the introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. I feel as though a second thank you is owed to our donors for taking the time out of their schedules to be here with us today. I'd like to give a personal thank you to the Crisp family for what you all have done for me and countless other students here at Southwestern. As Dr. Tu stated, I have received $500 every semester of my attendance, and there are no words to describe just how much it means to me and my family. For years, I watched my mother struggle to raise me and my older sister. This struggle was in part due to my ongoing medical costs as a legally blind toddler, then adolescent, and now young adult. Even after receiving a cornea transplant in August of 2014, I'm still unable to do most things that people take for granted, such as driving a car or viewing a familiar face a few feet away. Expenses due to my diagnosis brought and continues to bring many financial strains for my mother and myself. I have no doubt that without the help of this scholarship, I would not be afforded the opportunity of post-secondary education. Thankfully enough, with the many prayers of my family and community members, I graduated as salutatorian of my high school class and earned the Zell Miller Scholarship to cover my tuition costs. I remember the excitement of coming to Southwestern, my first choice school, as an entering freshman. From the beautiful campus to the small class sizes, I was overjoyed when thinking about the community that I'd be joining for the next 4 years. Sadly, I also remember the fear following my loss of that very scholarship at the end of my freshman year. I knew the current financial situation of my family and that it would be impossible for my mother to fund my educational endeavors without receiving a loan to do so. As I registered for classes my sophomore year, anxiety set in. I knew in my mind that I would not be able to cover the cost of books, let alone attendance, without Zell Miller. Unsure of my next step, I planned to continue working part-time and save money until I'd earn enough to return for the next semester. But thankfully, God's plans were much better than anything I could have imagined for myself. After about 2 weeks, to my surprise, I discovered that my name remained on each course roster. I was so sure that I'd be removed from my classes for lack of payment, but the Crisp family had my back. Their gift was the defining factor in whether or not I could remain on the path to earn my degree, and for this, I am incredibly grateful. Because of this scholarship, I could continue here at Southwestern, at a cost-effective yet rigorous program filled with professors and fellow students that became like family to me. I may sound a bit biased in saying this, but as a biology major at a small university, I believe that this program can compete with the best of the best. The ability to perform hands-on labs, field experiences within most courses, and senior seminar research presentations are among the many opportunities that are not afforded to large universities. Having associates at other schools has truly shown me the ways in which professors here on campus prepare us for success in the professional world. Aside from the closer bond to professors and other cohorts, the chance to attain hands-on experience in many areas within the field of biology is a part of what sets Southwestern in a class of its own. I could not imagine my collegiate experience outside of such a university. Thank you again to each and every donor, because it is your altruistic gift that makes a difference in the lives of many students like myself. I will close with a quote by Mr. Winston Churchill that states, "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give." Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and then I want to add my thanks to all the donors that are here and my congratulations to all of the recipients. I'm Liz Wilson, I'm the Dean of the Business School, and it's my pleasure to introduce Mimi Harvey today. She's a recipient of the Human Resources Management Scholarship, which was founded and funded and is currently funded by Human Resource Management alumni of GSW. Mimi is an HR major who is a senior and will graduate in May. She's currently got a 3.676 GPA, and she's been very active here during her time at GSW. Among her accomplishments and activities, she was inducted into Beta Gamma Sigma Business Honorary, which signifies she's in the top 10% of her class. She's an Enactus team member and was on the competition team at the national competition. As a team leader, Mimi spearheaded the Women's Empowerment Project, which brought speakers to campus who discussed topics such as interview skills for women. She is a storm spotter, which, for those of you that don't know anything about GSW, means that she is embedded into a freshman University 1000 class with the business students and has served as a mentor to them. As a matter of fact, one of them is sitting with her right now that Mimi was able to mentor this year. They are invaluable to us as business professors because they are able to do a lot more with the students than professors are sometimes. As you as parents know, that a lot of times the kids listen to other children more so than they do to the parents sometimes. So Mimi kind of acted as a surrogate parent, and what a great role model she's been for our students. She is also an officer in the new student chapter of the Society for Human Resource Management that we have just begun on campus here. By the way, Mimi works part-time and is an assistant manager in the Chick-fil-A in Cordele, and she's been working there 7 years, Mimi, I think. She also does training for corporate and helps open new stores across the country. Since her mother passed away earlier this year, Mimi is also living with her grandmother, or I guess her grandmother's living with Mimi, and she's helping to raise her younger sister. Mimi is a bright and delightful young woman. I think you'll be impressed by how articulate and what an upbeat personality Mimi has. And I am so pleased and proud to introduce her as a representative of the Human Resource Alumni Scholarship Fund.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Dean Wilson, for that lovely introduction. As Dean Wilson said, my name is Miana Harvey, but most people know me as Mimi, and I'm a senior human resource management major and fourth-year scholarship recipient. My last year at GSW has been nothing less than a Category 5 hurricane. On October 30th, I received some groundbreaking news. I learned that my mother had died at the age of 47 to heart failure. Growing up in the small town of Cordele, Georgia, I lived a modest life and understood the value of hard work. These values and deep qualities of hard work stuck with me throughout high school and compelled me to want to further my education and attend college. When my mother was able and in good health, she provided for myself and my sister as a single mother. My mother's health began declining during my junior year of high school, and at that point, I knew if I wanted to fulfill my dream of going to a four-year university, I would have to earn scholarships and grants. My circumstances kept me focused and determined to find a school that worked in my budget and was close to home, and Georgia Southwestern was just that. During my time of need and hardship, Georgia Southwestern rallied around me in more ways than one. From my professors to my classmates, I was constantly surrounded by love, understanding, and encouragement. I truly knew that the school cared about me and wanted me to become successful. Every year that I received a scholarship, the financial burden was no longer a worry and allowed me to focus on my academics. These scholarships have truly paved the way for me and several other students to continue our education here at Georgia Southwestern. And had I not received scholarships, I probably would not be standing here today. Having a school where people want to give back and help those in need is phenomenal and a great asset to have. I can proudly say through this experience, I learned a lot about my purpose and want to share it with you that there is no substitute for hard work. So again, as this year has brought many challenges, I stand before you as an upcoming debt-free 2019 graduate from the School of Business Administration with the help of several of you sitting before me. Thank you for your generosity and continuous support of higher education, and because of you all, I am able to take tomorrow by storm.
Let's give our guest speakers another round of applause. Next up is the appreciation video. At a meeting, a lot of the students, the scholarship recipients came to a meeting. They signed personal thank you notes and cards for the donors. And some of those students were asked to verbalize their appreciation and thanks to the donors in a video. I'd like to thank the people involved who put together the video and photos. Those individuals are Bob Slinker, the Technology Services Director, Chelsea Collins, the Director of Marketing and Communications, Sydney Scott, Public Relations Assistant. Thank you guys for your time and effort in putting together the video and photos. With that being said, we'll go ahead and start the video.
Somebody, maybe multiple people, invested their money in you to make sure you had the chance to be successful. And you'll have the chance to do that for somebody else.
I'm Christopher Cotton, a computer science major, and I would like to thank you for investing in me. It's my final year at Georgia Southwestern. I'll be graduating in the spring and plan to pursue a career in software development, and you've helped me to accomplish that goal, and I thank you.
I'm Anaya Sheely, and I'm a human resources major, and just wanted to say thank you for investing in me for the alumni scholarship.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Burge. I have the Arden Scholarship and for geology, and without it, I wouldn't be able to be here.
Hi, my name is Sadarian Hosanoff, and I was the recipient of the Betty and Claude L. Ryan Jr. Scholarship. And I would just like to say thank you to Miss Betty and Mr. Claude.
Hi, I'm Jacob Sanders, and I was the recipient of the Arden Science Scholarship, and I would just like to say thank you.
Hi, I'm Kenesha Toots.
And I'm Lenautica Toots.
And we're the recipients of the Calvin Rich Scholarship, and we just want to say thank you.
I'm Whitney Welch. And I'm Haley Welch, and we are both recipients of the Charles F. Crist Scholarship.
We would like to thank each of the donors for their generous donation.
Without y'all's support, we would not be able to accomplish our dream of obtaining a college degree.
Thanks again.
My name is Megan Smith. Thank you, Fort Family, for my scholarship. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chandler Wright. Thank you for the Bagley Aaron Scholarship and the Alumni Scholarship. This will push me towards achieving my goals and hopefully success in the future, as I will do my best and live my dreams. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Carly Hall. Thank you for my scholarship. I wouldn't be able to come to GSW without it.
Hi, my name is Maria Campanella, and I want to sincerely thank the donors for the Gazetta Scholarship that I have been awarded with. I will work hard and diligently to obtain my educational goals. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kimberly Miller, and I want to say thank you to Mr. and Mrs. David Green and Mr. and Mrs. Herschel A. Smith for the scholarship. Thank you.
My name is Alexandra Caducey. I want to say thank you to the Maddie Marshall Scholarship for giving me the opportunity to receive the scholarship. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mariah Yarbrough. I am a recipient of the Rylander Scholarship, and I just want to say that I'm truly blessed and thankful for you allowing me the funds to continue my education and pursue my dreams. Thank you.
I just want to thank Miss Betty Pope for my scholarship. Without this opportunity, I would not be able to be at GSW and accomplish my dream of being a long-term care manager. So I just want to say thank you for your investment in my future.
Well, I want to thank everybody for being with us today. As you've heard, the stories are incredible, and every student in the room today has a story about how these gifts impact their life. And each time I get a chance to hear it, it reminds me and encourages me that the work that we do here at the university, the opportunities that we provide, are impactful and meaningful. And I hope as donors, I hope you all see and feel and realize what you're offering and what you're providing for the young people that are in the room today. There are some folks that I want to thank, in particular, Katie and Stacy that work in our foundation office. They've worked very hard to put this together, and obviously they managed the process throughout the year of receiving gifts, processing gifts, distribution of those funds. And I want to thank, in particular, Rita Rowell, who has announced her retirement from the university and from the GSW Foundation. She'll be leaving the university at the end of April. So Rita, I know you're here somewhere, Rita. Rita, thank you very much for your years of service. I want to thank Chelsea and Mimi for their great stories, for sharing with us. Mimi even got our new tagline in there at the end, which we appreciate very much, staying on brand and working on our marketing message. I usually forget this, so I'm going to try to get it done before I go on to other stuff. But Christy's here with us today. I know most of you have met and know Christy Weaver, but I wanted to thank her for being here and always being so supportive of our students and working with our community and representing the university along the way. And I know that you've been introduced to and met lots of other people here at the university. What happens between a donor and a student is important. And it's important for many reasons. Obviously, as a donor, I hope that you see this as a way, one, to maybe repay some of the things that you received throughout your life, but also to reach forward into the future and to have an impact. Your gifts, and oftentimes your endowments, live on forever. Well, endowments certainly live on forever, but your impact lives on forever in generations, even after you're able to come and meet those donors. Your gifts will continue to impact lives, and I hope that is of value to you. As students, obviously the impact is immediate on your ability to go to school and your ability to pay your bills. And I hope it allows you to experience more at the university than just going to class. There's so much more you can learn at the university if you're engaged in activities outside of the classroom, and many of you are. And I hope you realize how valuable those experiences are. And I want the donors to know that if the students go to work in order to pay the bills and just go to class, they miss out on at least half of what they're supposed to get at the university. And so by providing those gifts, providing that free time for them to be able to enjoy the entire college experience is very important. But beyond the immediate, when students get out of college, as Mimi said, a debt-free student, that changes life. And that changes what people can do. If you're burdened with debt when you leave an institution, can you get married? Can you buy a house? Can you start a family? What kind of things does your life have to offer if you have debt or if you have no debt? And your gifts help reduce that burden. But as students and as graduates, what you will do and how you will do will be impacted by what you carry with you from this institution. My son, one of my sons, was just recently accepted into vet school, which he was very excited about. And he called me the other day and he said, "Well, Dad, this is great, but vet school is really expensive." I said, "I understand that." He said, "And I'll probably have some debt when I get out." And I said, "Yes, you probably will." And he said, "Well, I don't know how I'm going to be able to pay that back." And I said, "Well, let me tell you a story about a vet and it might help you understand how you're going to pay that back. One day I unfortunately went out and I found my dog not doing very well. It was, my untrained diagnosis was that it not alive. But so I picked it up and took it to the vet. And the vet came in and looked and said, well, yeah, I'm pretty sure she's dead. I said, well, are you sure? Because I think, it hadn't been that long, maybe. He said, okay, wait a second. So he goes in the back room, and he comes back in, and he brought a cat. And the cat jumped up on the table and sniffed around on my dog and looked at the doctor and kind of meowed, jumped off the table and ran it. He said, yeah, the cat thinks the dog's dead. I said, okay. I said, but are you sure? He said, well, hold on. So he goes in the back and he brings in this Labrador retriever. And the lab gets up and sniffs and barks and leaves the room. And the doctor said, yeah, the Labrador confirms your dog's dead. I said, okay. So obviously not feeling great. I still go to leave and I'm checking out. The person at the checkout handed me a bill for $650. I was like, what in the world are you doing? It can't be that much. And the doctor came out and said, look, I was only going to charge you $50 for my initial diagnosis, but the CAT scan and the lab tests were $600. So if you have to pay back loans, if you have to come up with things to charge people for, and then you won't get customers. So what you leave the institution with, the burdens that you leave the institution with, you carry with you, and might affect the way that you do your job, might affect where you live, might affect the kind of life that you have. And we, as a university, and certainly as representing all of the donors here today, we want you to have the greatest opportunity to live the American dream, to chase your dreams, and to not be burdened by the cost of an education. And so I want to share my excitement for you. I know many of you I'm going to see in May walking across the stage, and I look forward to handing you those diplomas. But I also want to thank our donors and let them know that what they do not only supports you, but it inspires all of us to do our job and to do it well. So we thank you for being here today. I hope you've had a chance to enjoy the folks at your table. And whether you got the scholarship from the donor at your table or not, or whether you are the donor, whether this student at your table is the exact student that received your scholarship, I hope you all understand and appreciate that it's meeting each other that is so important and inspires each of the other to do what they do. So thank you for being here today. Thank you for believing in GSW, and I look forward to seeing you guys around town and around campus, and hope you have a great afternoon. Thanks.